What do you want? Do you want to be a celebrity? Or do you want to be the best player you can be? If you want to be the best player you can be, forget that. Concentrate on your training. When faced by a challenge, the mind skips into the future and says, what if I fail? What if I am embarrassed? What if I get injured? What if I... And I have to give them a different way of thinking. And the thinking is, I may fail. I may get embarrassed. I may get injured. But I can deal with it because I'm strong. And because I prefer to be the kind of person who steps up and faces the challenge than the kind of person who stays below the line and avoids the challenge. What kind of person do you want to be? What do you want? How badly do you want it? How much are you willing to suffer? Those three questions our high performers face every day. Anybody can change at any stage of their life. We are writing our own story, our own life story, but there's no reason why we can't stop, have a mental time out and go, what do I really want? And start from that moment on rewriting your story by facing the challenge, achieving for yourself and putting your fears and anxieties to one side. I would never give up on somebody, never. There's 1,000 excuses, but not a single reason. When you step into the challenge zone, the number of excuses for getting out, back into your comfort zone from there, multiplies. I'm too tired, it's too difficult. I'm having a bad day. Nobody likes me. I would teach them to face up to those excuses and refuse to be a victim. And teach them a fighter mentality. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to deal with it. 1,000 excuses, but not one reason not to achieve. But there's an awful lot of players playing in the Premier League football in this country who are B for talent, but A for attitude. And attitude is something anybody can have. Anybody. Talent is something that may be a little bit God-given, but attitude is anybody's. You can decide to improve your attitude any day. You're in control. You're in control of your mind. It's your mind. You decide what you think. We're going to decide we want something different. What do you want? How badly do you want it? How much are you willing to suffer? If you don't have the dream, then you're not really going to go anywhere. But you have a dream, and then I have to help them translate the dream into commitment, and then translate the commitment into belief, into action, into challenge, into resilience, into fighter mentality. There are many exercises, but they're all the same. They're reframing your thinking from negative to positive. It's the process, not the outcome. It's the process of sport that makes it so meaningful and valuable in life. It's the things you learn on the journey that are the key things in your life that help you be a better husband, father, friend, granddad. Some people will go all the way and win. And fantastic. Brilliant. But many people, 90% of people in the challenge zone, will only go part way. But it's still rewarding because it's the process that gives you the benefits. The outcome is just cake on the end of the meal. Everything begins with taking responsibility. If you take responsibility, the number of excuses diminishes because it's your responsibility. If you don't take responsibility, it's always somebody else's fault. You've always got a way out. You're looking for people who go, okay, it happened, I will deal with it. I will learn from it, I will move on. So taking responsibility is the start of controlling your mindset and your life's journey. When you try to achieve something in life, it's inevitable there will be setbacks. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So it's tough. It's tough rising to the top of your career. It's tough holding a relationship together. It's tough buying a house. It's tough being a champion. So there will be setbacks. So we need a process for dealing with setbacks. And we have to develop the resilience to handle that situation. There's a great story of Kobe Bryant, the basketball player. In his first year as a professional, his team reached the playoffs and he was the superstar, the young superstar. And in the last minute of the game, he had 3 shots to win the game for his team and missed all 3. And at the end of the game, the commentators were astounded. This great talent missed all 3 shots. And he was sat down on the bench and his head was in his hands. And they were talking about how he must feel dreadful. And when he got up to come off the court, they managed to get an interview with him and said, "Kobe, you were sat on the bench with your head in your hands, you must have felt terrible." And he looked at them and he said, "What's feeling got to do with it? I was working out why I missed those shots. I now know why I missed those shots and I can do something about it." And that's a great coping strategy when you have a setback. Setbacks knock you emotionally off balance. But you've got to work beyond the emotion to get to, why did I have that setback? What can I learn from it? How am I going to avoid it in the future? And go on. Preparation is the key to confidence. If you are in the tunnel at Manchester United, many of the players used to tell me, if you've done a good week's work in preparation for the game, you feel ready to play. If you've had a poor week's work, you feel less ready. And that can be vital in terms of confidence to face the challenge. The world is full of those professional athletes who've not quite as big as they should be, strong as they should be, quick as they could be. But you love them for their attitude. Fighter mentality through and through. Never let you down. Battle to the end. They're the ones who win. You can really be who you want to be. Maximizing on yourself. It's about dealing with your own doubts, fears and anxieties. About letting the positive you defeat the negative you. Because really psychology is a battle of you versus you. We think the opposition's over there in the other dressing room, but actually it's in here. Who am I going to be today? Am I going to be my best self or my weaker self? So a lot of my psychology with teams and athletes and coaches comes down to fighter versus victim. And that's life. We wake up every morning and make a decision who we're going to be. I have to make a decision. Am I going to be a fighter today or am I going to be a victim? I mean, in a sense, we're all high performers. I tend to ask athletes 3 questions when they come to see me, and I've had a lot of distinguished athletes come to see me. And my 3 questions are, what do you want? How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to suffer? And very often, everything revolves around the first question, what do you want? Because a lot of people are unclear what they want from life. They don't sit down and think through. We are writing our own life story every day, and yet we don't think about it. Who do we want to be? Where do we want to live? What life do we want to lead? When we've finished our life, come to the end of our life and look back, what do we want to say that we've done? So, what do you want is a very powerful question. And then, if an athlete says, I want to be the best, Bill, fine. How badly do you want it? Because you've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. And if we can deal with that question, how much are you willing to suffer? Because I work with gold medal champions and they suffer every day. They work enormously hard. They sacrifice enormous things in order to get that success. An everyday commitment, where you wake up every day and say, just like Clint Eastwood, you say, today I'm going to be a champion. I work with Adam Peaty, the gold medal swimmer, and he arrives at the swimming pool at 6 o'clock in the morning. And before he goes in, he stops and says, today I will train like a champion. And he trains for 2 hours like a champion. Nobody in the pool can get near him. He works so hard. And he comes back again at 6 o'clock in the evening and he stops outside the arena and says, tonight I'm going to train like a champion. And he trains like a champion. I gave a talk some years ago when Adam was a bit younger about attitudes to training. And I said, there's various types of attitudes to training. There's the just turn up. So that you get athletes who just turn up. It's training tonight, I'll just turn up. You get athletes who turn up to compete, or turn up to train, turn up to train. They'll turn up, they'll do the requisite amount of work, but that's it. Athletes who turn up to compete, they put a bit more effort in, they try to be the best amongst their group. Then there's the athletes who train to win. They train every day, every session, so that they win on match night. And then, I remember saying to Adam's group, there are just those very few players who train to dominate. They train so hard that winning is inevitable on race night. And Adam said, that clicked with me. I decided I was going to train to dominate. So he said, when I go into the Olympic final, I know I'm going to win. I know I've done more than anybody else. I feel so good. And race day should be inevitable. Winning should be inevitable. That's the price that athletes pay. But race day is fun because there's a crowd, there's cameras, there's your family, your friends. And it's nice to do that. What they don't see, the people in the arena don't see, is you on your own at 6 o'clock in the morning, working out, sweating, struggling. And that's what makes champions, the ability to motivate themselves to do the work on their own that leads to success in the arena. I mean, they're the tragedies of sport. You see them on the field, on the basketball court, and they're brimming with talent, brimming with it, and you think, my goodness, how good this kid is. But they don't have the attitude. So they consistently let you down. Sometimes don't turn up. Sometimes leave the fight halfway through. I'm having a bad day. Whereas your athlete with lesser talent, B+, but massive attitude, will survive that and go on. And they're the ones it's a pleasure to work with. They're the ones, the world is full of those professional athletes who've not quite as big as they should be, strong as they should be, quick as they could be. But you love them for their attitude. Fighter mentality through and through. Never let you down. Battle to the end. They're the ones who win.
Let me give you a good philosophical phrase. All values must be won by contest. All values must be won by contest. And after they've been won, they must be defended. You say, wow, you've put a pretty heavy task on us. That's what life is all about, a pretty heavy challenge. We don't give large trophies for small effort. If you want to win high health, If you want to win high wealth, if you want to extend a long reach in touching people's lives, you got to engage in some of these extra powerful disciplines. And one is to secure the territory by vigor, and the other is to defend it with equal challenge. Attack.
Everybody talks about being successful, but not everybody's willing to do what it takes to be successful. Everybody wants to hold the trophy up at the end of the game, but not everybody wants to put in the work to be a champion. Success is earned, it's not given. And it's a place where only the strong survive. And if you want to be successful, you have to be willing to make the sacrifices. You have to have the courage to fight through the darkness just to get to the light. You have to have the will to crawl when you can't walk, and the patience to walk when you can't yet run. When you want to be successful, you have to be willing to go through hell and high water to make your dreams come true. And I promise you, when you have that mindset, I don't care what's put in front of you, nothing will stop you.
In life, you can be so gifted, right? And so talented. I want y'all to hear this, right? You can be so gifted, so talented. Something can serve as an advantage your whole life. If you don't personally develop, right? If you don't grow, if you don't evolve, at a certain point in your life, your advantage is going to become your disadvantage. Guarantee you. That's the importance of hard work. That's the importance of dedication. That's the importance of commitment.
Whenever you prepare correctly, taking all of the steps you're supposed to take, doing everything in your power to stay on track, whenever your preparations lead to success, achieving your goals, you reinforce the disciplines that got you there. Success leads to reinforcement of the proper discipline. If what you're doing is working, keep doing it. If what you're doing isn't working, change it. If I grow, think of what that will do for my future. Self-development earns success. Self-investment earns respect. And the only way to make a better and better and better investment in your future is to become better and stronger and wiser and more competent. And the more attractive you become, the more attractive you are. And the more attractive you are, the more you attract success. Self-development, self-investment attracts success. That's powerful.
That passion you want to pursue, the longer you think about it without doing, the more you get used to inaction. And the more you get used to inaction, the easier it is for the dream you once had to slip out of your hands. So sacrifice for what you want before what you want becomes a sacrifice.
That is what I'm going to go for. And it doesn't matter that I will not be better than others when I compare myself to them. No. I will look at others who do achieve greatness in a category, and I will say, look at what is possible. How close can I get to that greatness? How close can I get to that glory? But my glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning.
What's that thing for you? That thing you've been wanting to do for a while now? Have you done it? No? Well, I'm just here with a friendly reminder that nobody will do it for you. If you're waiting for others to share the same convictions as you before you act on it, you'll be waiting for a very long time. Time that will render your desires to act on your dreams useless if you keep putting it off. Stop waiting on other people or the perfect conditions in order to start something.
And the last thing I think about is like, why not? Like, why not you? Like, why can't you achieve all the things that are in your heart and your mind? Why can't you, break that generational curse? Why can't you get up and start taking those steps? You know what I mean? Why? Like, what's stopping me? And when you really get to the root of what's stopping you, the only thing that is truly stopping you is you, and you have the power to take that stand and to put one foot in front of the other, take it day by day, step by step, and become the person that God made you to be.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, That man has even greater glory. That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never fell. There's no glory in that.
And the beautiful thing is, you can change your story at any moment in time. Create a new narrative, write a longer chapter, or cut this one short. At any second, you have the ability to invent a new you. Go for an unconventional ending. All you have to do is believe and watch the magic happen.
The reinvention occurs in the micro actions that you're taking every single day. The tiny little things that perhaps no one even notices that are creating muscle memory around new behaviors that perhaps are very uncomfortable to you. Tiny little things repeated over time is what produces dramatic change.
One question will change your entire fucking life. Who do I need to become? That's the question. Who do you need to become this person, to achieve this success, to hit this goal? That's the only question you need. Audit who you are. And you gotta ask yourself, what do I need to let go of, and who do I need to become this person?
I think people give up because they don't believe what they see. People don't believe the greatness that's in them. Because the world created this superstar elite group that's just human, just like us. But when we see them on television, we look at them as higher than us. We look at them in a place where we think we can never get to. And the real reason is, most people never get out the stands and get in the game. They stay fans their whole life. So I tell everybody, get out the stands and get in the game. Get in the game of life and leave your mark here. Every human being on this earth has their own journey. And when you don't focus on yours, you will not bring the great gifts and things that you were supposed to bring to the world.
Like, what's the point of having dreams, y'all? What's the point of having dreams if they're gonna just stay that? If they're gonna stay dreams forever, it gotta get to a point where you actually live in those dreams. You're gonna get to the point where those dreams turn reality for you. Those dreams become your reality. It's time for you to live it. It's time for you to breathe it. It's time for you to be it. It's time now to get more dedicated, to get less distracted, to go deeper.
Every next level of my life demands a new version of me. Oftentimes we got goals, dreams, and aspirations and want to acquire and do certain things, but you still the old version of you. You haven't grown. In no sense of the word. You haven't experienced enough. That's the great thing about experiences. People are so afraid of experiences, but the great thing about experiences, you learn who you are, what you possess, what you will do. You learn from different situations, different scenarios. When you fail, you learn. When it doesn't go the way you want it to, when it goes the way, you learn, right? How do you grow? You learn. How is character formulated and sustained? You learn, yes, right? And so when it says, let the hard things in life break you and affect you, it's not saying let it break you to the point that you crumble. What it's saying is let it affect you.
If it's your time, that means your talent, your head knowledge, your heart, and your skill set and practice have come together so that you can step into the moment. When it's your time, no one can deny you. When it's your time, everyone can see it coming. You can feel it, you can sense it, you can own it, and you take dominion over that moment because it's your time. But if you wait on your turn, that's a sense of entitlement. Waiting for someone else to vacate a position is not how you get elevated. You learn, you watch them, you study them, and then you turn that idol into a rival. You battle for the position, you battle for the moment, and you discover what's deep inside of you.
Fight. Go down swinging. And I'll tell you, if you fight with all you have, more often than not, you won't go down at all. You will win. But you have to make that attitude a part of your everyday life. Do the extra repetition. Run the extra mile. Go the extra round. Make the right choices. Give the full measure. Make yourself stronger, mentally and physically. Stand and fight.
that hunger to be more, to do more, to give more, that hunger that never ends. If you can, I think everybody has that hunger, but for some people it's been asleep for a long time because they're afraid. They're afraid that I'm gonna get hungry, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna fail. And so it's human nature to protect yourself from the fear by just lowering your expectations. You get what you tolerate in yourself, you get what you tolerate in your life, and sooner or later we sometimes hit a point where we say, not another day, not another hour, this is done. I'm not walking this way, I'm not talking this way, I'm not living this way, I'm gonna change it. And when people do that, that's the beginning of a breakthrough.
A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut, and all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their master. When you become the master of your dream, the dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the laundry list of and details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. So a lot of people out there dreaming.
And every single one of you out there have the superpowers necessary for greatness. But until you're backed into a corner like an injured, hungry, thirsty dog, you don't really realize how much you have in you. That is something that no test can measure.
It's like it isn't obvious at all that we want happiness. It isn't even obvious that we want absence of misery. What's really obvious is that we want an adventure, right? We want an adventure that's so compelling that it makes the misery of life not just justifiable, but worthwhile. You want to look back at your life, and you know this to be true. You want to be able to say to yourself, even considering a month or a week or a series of days, you want to be able to say, that was really difficult, but you know what? It was worth it. And I think that's what you want from your life. It's something like, you know what? That was difficult, but it was worth it. And that meant that the adventure was so great that it justified the difficulties.
Do I just sit there and settle? No, I don't. I say enough's enough, man, and I'm gonna make a change, and I'm gonna keep going until I get it. You chase something that you believe you deserve until you get it. And it doesn't matter what happens to you. Doesn't matter how many times you've been fired. Doesn't matter how many people don't believe in you. You just go until you get it.
The people in life that win play offense, not defense. Stop backing into everything. Stand up. Bow your back a little bit. Start to walk a little different. Start to be that best version of you.
You just have to feel it and know that you were placed here for a reason. If you dare to be great, if you dare to do something that you've never done before, if you dare to go to limits that you've never went to before, they will remember your legacy forever.
Telling yourself every day, and I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to win, that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're going to dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. It takes a decision. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am.
What are you giving? Many people will leave the universe without a trace. No one will know they were here. And in fact, under their name, we could put under there, not used up. Will anybody know that you came this way? What contribution are you giving? What will you leave? What will be different because you came this way? Someone once said that life is our gift to us, that God has given us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. What kind of gift are you formulating? Is this a gift that you like to take back and do something else before you turn it in?
There are those of you who are still immature. When your excitement is up, your effort is up. But when your excitement goes down, your effort goes down. For some of you, you're too seasonal. When you're excited, man, you coming to work the first week, the first month, the first 3 months when you got that job, you were excited, and so you was putting forth effort. You on blade, not you got comfortable, and you're not excited no more. And guess what happened? Your effort has gone down. So do me a favor, get off of that feeling stuff. Get off your excitement. We're not dealing with feelings because feelings go up and down. You don't have to be excited. You made a commitment to that job. Did nobody force you to take that job? You signed your name on the dotted line. And commitment said, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm excited. I don't care if I'm pumped up. I don't care if I'm fired up. You made a commitment. Now it's time to put up.
If you can't stick to something for 5 fucking days, you deserve to have a shitty life. You deserve to get your ass kicked. You deserve to be miserable. We're talking about 5 fucking days. We're not talking about 50 years. We're not talking about the 5 years it probably takes to build something worthwhile. We're not talking about the 5 months it could take for you to lose 100 pounds. We're talking about 5 fucking days. And you can't even stick to it for that. So what the do you think you deserve? You deserve exactly what you get. And that's the truth. That's the things your friends won't tell you when you're cheating and moaning about how your life sucks on Friday night, drinking a fucking brewski with your boys. That's the shit your mom won't tell you when you're sitting in your mom's basement playing fucking video games when you should be reading or improving or working out or doing something. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how frustrated or pissed or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over. And if you do that and it gets done, it's irrelevant how you feel. And I can tell you this, if you do that for long enough, you're gonna feel a lot better about your life than you do right now.
It's necessary that you associate with winners, that you work your system, that you are relentless, that you never give up. It's you. You've got to take personal responsibility. You've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. And you've got to resolve within yourself that I can do this, that it's hard. But you've got to say, it's not over until I win.
See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future, yes to your potential, as opposed to saying no. See, 87% of our self-talk is negative. So you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to say yes to your dreams. Why not? Why not me? Don't spend time like most people going through life complaining. You got to learn to let the past go so you can grow. Many people never act on their dreams because they allow their past experiences to determine what their possibilities are. Whatever you've done in the past, that's not a reflection of your possibilities. That's just a reflection of your consciousness. That's just a reflection of your development and your growth. The future is unfolding for you right now. The future is unlimited for you right now. No one knows where you can go. No one knows what you're capable of or what's possible for you.
We don't rise to our ambitions, we fall to our standards. So you don't have what you want, you have what you are willing to accept. The key to life is not necessarily to just raise your ambitions, it's to raise your standards. What you need to do is set higher standards for yourself and refuse to bend. Force life to bend to your will. And you do that by raising your standards. It's the ultimate key to success.
Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look at, you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect? Pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there.
What makes successful people successful is what they do when they don't feel like it. It's what you do when you don't feel like going to the gym and you're dragging ass and you would rather eat a piece of dog shit than go to the gym. It's what you do when you show up to work and you want to burn the motherfucker down. The reason I'm successful is because I execute whether I have the fucking fire or whether I don't have the fucking fire. And you guys have got to start cultivating the ability to have discipline. What do you do when somebody's not there watching you? What do you do when you have to either do what it is you know you're supposed to do without somebody there to supervise you, or you get to take the play off because no one's going to know the difference? Those are the things that make up success, and that's discipline. You have to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know it needs to be fucking done.
It's gonna take you getting a hold of the thing and not letting go. You're gonna have to fight and fight and fight till you can't fight anymore. Whatever it takes, I will do whatever I have to do to get to the other side, to make it over, to press through this. Nothing will hold me back. Nothing will stop me.
Just start. Start small. Start with changing tomorrow morning, just tomorrow morning. Get that squared away. And then move on to the next day and the next, and move your life to a better place. One little step, one little victory at a time.
To become a better version of yourself, you first need to figure out which parts of your life you want to improve. Think of it like starting with a blank piece of paper or a new journal, where you can write down the things that aren't going well. Some people say it's best to focus on just one thing at a time, but you might feel like working on a few things together. Look at the specific parts of your life that have been bothering you for a while. For example, if you smoke, now could be the time to decide to quit. After identifying what you want to change, put it down on paper as your goals. Studies show that when you write your goals, you're more likely to stick with them. Create sections on your paper like what I want to change, and then 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, and 5 years after that. You can even think about 10 years or more. Write down what you want to change under each section. Make sure your goals sound positive, like I will do this. Not I will do this, not I might or I hope. Being clear and specific about what you want to achieve makes it easier to take action. At the bottom of the page, list the steps you're going to take to reach your goals. Like I'll walk for a mile every day, or I'll eat a fresh salad daily. It's important to think about whether your goals are possible for you. Do you have the skills, knowledge, and things you need to make them happen? If not, think about how you can get what you need. You'll feel more confident and ready to go after your goals when you prepare well. Finding someone to guide you can be really helpful. Successful people often have someone who gives them advice and support. Look for someone you admire, like a successful business person or an athlete. If you know them, ask if they can help you too. If you can't meet them, read about how they achieved their goals. Their stories can motivate you. They might write about their success in articles or blogs. One of the most important things is to believe in yourself in the process. The first step in setting goals is to believe you can actually achieve them. If you have doubts, remember that everything starts with a single idea. Don't let negative thoughts like, "Am I good enough?" hold you back. You are good enough even if you've made mistakes before. Everyone makes mistakes. That's part of being human. Commitment is key. If you start feeling unsure, look at your goals and read them again. Write down why these goals are important to you and what you'll do to make them happen. Without strong commitment, it's hard to keep going as you work on your goals. Ask yourself if you're giving your best effort. Check if you're making progress, and don't be afraid to keep going, even if things get tough. Learn from both successes and failures. Picture yourself achieving your goals. Some experts believe that spending a few minutes every day imagining your success can really help. Before you go to bed, close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding. Tell someone you trust about your goals. Sharing your goals with friends or family can motivate you to keep going. They might ask you how you're doing, and that can help you stay on track. If you don't tell anyone, it's easy to give up without feeling bad about it. Stay positive. Even big achievers started with dreams that seemed impossible. Instead of giving up, they stayed determined. Keep your mind positive, as your thoughts can either help you or hold you back. Listen to things that make you feel motivated and happy, like uplifting music or inspiring stories. Remember, staying positive and focusing on the good can help you overcome challenges. Getting organized is important too. Make a list of ways you can learn more about the things you want to improve. You can read books, take classes, or even learn from people who've been successful. While you're learning, take notes to help you remember what's important. Review your goals regularly, like every week. This helps you see if you're making progress and reminds you of what you want to achieve. Check if you're sticking to your plans and if your goals still matter to you. If not, it's okay to adjust them until you feel excited about them again. In the end, your journey to becoming a better version of yourself is all about believing in yourself, staying committed and staying positive. It's like creating a colorful painting of your future, where each step you take adds a new brushstroke. Keep learning, keep adjusting, and keep believing in the power of change.
Every time you reach the next level, you grow. And every time you grow, your potential changes. After you conquer that challenge, you discover that what you are now capable of has changed. You have more strength to conquer higher mountains. If you are going to reach your true potential, you have much bigger challenges to face. There's an unlimited amount of mountains to climb because your growth is unlimited. And because your growth is unlimited, that means your potential is also unlimited. It's never-ending, a never-ending journey of growth and expansion. Your growth is unlimited in every area. What can I do now to make those changes so I can reach the next level in my health? Because the new energy I will get from better health is going to help me get to the next level in other areas as well. What can I learn or commit to now to make that area of my life better? Can my mental health and self-image be better? What can I work on every day to make sure my inner talk and sense of self is better? Because the better I feel about me, the better I am going to show up in this world. When I get to the end of my life, I want to know for sure I left nothing on the table. I want to know I gave my heart and soul to reach my truest potential. I want to know I did all I could to carve out the greatest version of me. No regrets. That's what it's about. Having zero regrets. And you can only have no regrets if you gave every ounce of your soul while you were alive on this planet. Every area can be mastered, so I am going to master every area. What's the point in having one piece of the pie? I'm cooking the whole thing, so I'm going to enjoy the whole thing, piece by piece, until my soul is full, and it will never be full until the end of my life. When I look in the mirror and can say, honestly, I gave everything to be my very best, and I'm proud of who I have become, until that day I will not stop. I want to know what my life would be like if I just gave everything I have for my goals and dreams. Not just one day, every day. What if I got better every day? Not just one day, a new piece of knowledge I could use to benefit my future. How great could I become? Ask yourself that question. How great could I become? What areas of my life could be the very best they have ever been? What could I commit to right now to make absolutely sure I am pushing for my highest potential? I want you to make that commitment today. Do whatever you must do to ensure you get to the end with no regrets.
Hardships are a part of life, and while nobody enjoys pain, they can be valuable because they present an opportunity for personal growth. I like to say that you discover how deep your self-discipline goes when you struggle and not when everything goes well. You aren't self-disciplined because you worked hard when you were fired up to work. You're self-disciplined when you continue to work hard when the last thing you want to do is work. You aren't self-disciplined because you can't afford candy, so you don't eat it. You exhibit self-control when you deny the treats that are offered freely to you. For example, when you're at a party with a buffet selection of high-calorie snacks. You aren't self-disciplined when you wake up early in the morning to work on your new business. You're self-disciplined when you still wake up early in the morning when it seems that your business is going nowhere. Misfortunes aren't fun to deal with, but bearing them nobly strengthens your ability to handle even worse circumstances in the future. In a sense, trials and tribulations are like training. You may not enjoy it, but you know that eventually it will pay off and more than recoup for any suffering you're going through at the moment. We often limit ourselves because we don't think we can achieve something. Today, it may be hard for you to imagine that you can live without dessert or that you can live below your means. It doesn't mean it's impossible, though. It's only your subjective opinion, not a fact of life. Moreover, thinking that you're unlikely to win means that you'll put in less effort than you could. Why would you work your fingers to the bone if you were uncertain of success? Rock climbing has made it particularly clear to me. When you approach the route thinking that it's beyond your abilities, you won't do your best. After all, why try your best if you know that you aren't going to climb it anyway? You'll most likely give up when you encounter the first obstacle, while a person thinking they can climb it will fight as hard as they can to keep climbing. In the end, the person that doesn't believe in their abilities will give up along the way, while the person that is certain of their abilities will reach the top. Periodically, try things that you think are outside of your ability with a positive attitude and the belief that you can succeed. Chances are you'll get a positive surprise and achieve something you thought was beyond your reach.